I never thought I'd wake up in my nephew's body, staring at my own face in the mirror, his smug grin twisted into my terrified scream. The swap happened on a whim, some back-alley psychic ritual in the bowels of Queens, the kind of desperate gamble you make when life's kicked you square in the teeth. And now, with his sinewy 28-year-old frame humming with unfamiliar energy, I was going to burn his world down from the inside, starting with that godforsaken lake cottage he'd stolen from me. It was betrayal that lit the fuse, the kind that festers like black mold in a forgotten basement. My sister, Elena, had always been the golden child, Daddy's favorite, the one who got the Ivy League ride while I scraped by on community college loans and waitressing tips in Jersey diners. She married up, snagged a Wall Street shark named Victor, and popped out their perfect little sociopath, my nephew Tyler. He was all sharp suits and sharper ambition, the type who networked his way through family funerals like they were cocktail hours. But the cottage? That was mine. Grandpa's gift to me on my 18th birthday, tucked away on the shores of Lake Placid, a splinter of heaven amid the pines where I'd spent summers fishing and dreaming of a life less ordinary. For the one who needs it most, Sadie, Grandpa had rasped, his emphysema-ravaged lungs wheezing the words like a sacred oath. Tyler wanted it for Airbnb. Think of the ROI, Aunt Sadie. He'd sneered over Thanksgiving turkey last year, his eyes gleaming like a hyena spotting carrion. That old shack's just rotting up there. We could flip it into a cash cow, glamping pods, hot tubs, the works. I laughed it off then, but Elena backed him, her Botox-smooth face twisting into that fake concerned pout. He's got vision, Sadie. You're comfortable in the city, right? Comfortable. Code 4 stuck in your dead-end graphic design gig. Single at 45, no kids to pass it to. What they didn't know, what I'd buried deeper than Grandpa's ashes, was the secret that bound us all. 20 years ago, Tyler's dad, Victor, had cooked the books at his firm, a multi-million-dollar embezzlement scam that could have landed him in Sing Sing. But who'd taken the fall? Me. His gullible sister-in-law, the family outsider with no connections. He forged my signature on dummy accounts, pinned the audit trail on my freelance consulting side hustle. I did 18 months in federal lockup, lost my savings, my reputation, everything. Elena knew. She whispered apologies through plexiglass during visits, but never ratted him out. Blood's thicker after all. And Tyler? He was 12 when it happened, old enough to overhear the late-night arguments, young enough to learn that power means never saying sorry. Out on parole, I clawed my way back, freelance gigs, odd jobs, therapy sessions where I punched pillows instead of faces. The cottage was my anchor, the one pure thing left. But Tyler, fresh off an MBA from Wharton, smelled opportunity. He lawyered up, unearthed some bullshit clause in Grandpa's will about productive use of assets, and sued. The courts sided with him. Family ties, his silver-tongued attorney spinning yarns about my instability. I lost it last spring, the judge's gavel echoing like a gunshot in that sterile Buffalo courtroom. Tyler moved in that summer, gutted the place for his rental empire. Quartz counters, Tesla chargers, Instagram-worthy lofts. Bookings poured in, city slickers paying top dollar to rough it in my stolen memories. That's when the rage crystallized. Not the hot, explosive kind, but cold, surgical, like the scalpel Victor probably wished he'd used on his conscience. I started small, anonymous reviews tanking his ratings, fake complaints to the county zoning board about noise violations. But Tyler was slippery, a mini Victor with apps monitoring every angle, lawyers on speed dial. He laughed it off in family Zooms, toasting with craft IPAs. Aunt Sadie's just salty. We'll send her a cut once it's popping. Elena cooed agreement, her diamond tennis bracelet catching the light like a noose. I needed inside. I needed to be him. The psychic was a Haitian émigré named Madame Laveau, real name Lourdes. But who cares when desperation calls? I found her ad on a Craigslist back page, buried under palm readings and love potions. $50 for a soul exchange consultation. Cash only, no refunds. Her walk-up in Astoria reeked of sage and stale plantains, walls papered in faded voodoo vevs. You want his skin? His voice. Be careful, Sherry, she warned, her gold-capped teeth flashing. The Loa don't play fair. What you take, you might not give back. I didn't care. I shelled out another $200 for the ritual. Chicken blood. Fake, she insisted. A lock of Tyler's hair swiped from his barber's floor during a surprise family brunch. and my own locket with Grandpa's photo. We chanted under a harvest moon, the words twisting like smoke, Creole patois mixed with Latin scraps. Pain hit like a freight train, bones cracking, vision blurring, a scream that wasn't mine ripping from my throat. I came to in Tyler's Tribeca loft, sprawled on Egyptian cotton sheets that smelled of his Axe body spray and unearned entitlement. The mirror confirmed it, his chiseled jaw, tousled blonde hair, those piercing blue eyes now wide with my panic. My old body, Sadie's body, was across town in my cramped Bushwick apartment, probably stirring with his confusion. Madame Laveau's caveat, 24 hours, max enough time to wreak havoc, not enough to get caught. I grabbed his phone, biometrics bypassed with my new thumbprint, and scrolled his empire. The Cottage app dashboard glowed. 80% occupancy, projections hitting 6 figures by fall. Guests raving about rustic charm meets luxury. Charm. My charm. First move, sabotage the bookings. I logged in as him, fingers flying over keys that felt too nimble, too young. Canceled a weekend wedding party. Tu fa jiating hegi qinghong. I typed in broken Mandarin for the international couple, knowing it'd spark a refund war. Then, the influencers, a trio of TikTok stars due Friday, their sponsored post promising viral gold. I emailed from his account. Due to unforeseen plumbing issues, we're pivoting to eco-only stays. No electricity, composting toilets only. Attached a forged invoice for sustainable upgrades. Their horrified replies pinged back. WTF, Tyler? This kills our brand. I hit send on a mass blast to all upcoming guests. Health inspection failed. Possible asbestos. Full refunds, but legal holds on disputes. Chaos erupted. Chargebacks flooded. Yelp reviews tanked from 5 stars to scam alert. Tyler's partners, slick VCs from Silicon Alley, started blowing up his inbox. What's the play here, bro? Investors are spooked. But that was appetizer. The main course was personal. I drove north in his cherry red Mustang, the engine purring like a predator, up I-87 through the Catskills autumn blaze. 5 hours of podcasts on true crime. Ironic, given my felony ink, to steal my nerves. The Cottage emerged at dusk, floodlights casting long shadows over the deck, where Grandpa taught me to whittle. It wasn't mine anymore, but in his body, I had the keys, the codes, the face that opened doors. Tyler's crew was there. Contractors slapping on final touches, a photographer staging shots for the relaunch. Boss. The foreman grunted, handing me a hard hat. I nodded, voice cracking only once, his baritone used to my gravelly intent. Double-check the foundation. I barked, channeling every mob boss flick I'd binged. Heard rumors of sinkholes. Lies, but they scrambled, drills whining into the night. Alone in the master suite, my old bedroom, now a master retreat, with a king bed and en-suite spa, I rifled drawers. Tyler's laptop hummed open, spreadsheets of projected revenue, emails plotting expansions to the whole shoreline. Buried in a subfolder, family_contingency.pdf. Heart slamming, I clicked. There it was, the secret I'd long suspected but never proven. Victor's scam? Tyler knew all along. Kid emails from 2004. Him spying on his dad's business trips, even forging a school note to cover a drop-off at the Fed's office. And the kicker, he'd blackmailed Elena into silence, trading her silence for tuition money. Mom, if Aunt Sadie squeals, we're all underwater. My sister, complicit to the core. Rage boiled, but I swallowed it. Time for precision, not fury. Midnight raid. I spiked the well water with food-grade dye. Harmless blue, but it had flushed toilets cerulean for weeks, screaming contamination. Then, the surprise, a timed hack on the smart home system. Using Tyler's credentials, I reprogrammed the Nest cams to loop footage of phantom intruders, grainy figures in hoodies, casing the property. Alerts blared to local PD at 2 a.m. Burglary in progress. Sirens wailed as I slipped out, Mustang vanishing into the pines. By dawn, the place was a crime scene tape circus, guests fleeing like rats from a flood. Back in the city, the swap's timer ticked. 12 hours left. Tyler's life unraveled in real time. Voicemails from furious clients. Victor's curt text. Fix this, or you're cut off. Elena's weepy call. What the hell, Ty? The family's imploding. I savored it. Lounging in his loft with a bourbon neat, feet up on the Noguchi coffee table he'd bragged about. But cracks showed. His body ached with my arthritis ghosts, memories bleeding through, flashes of his prom night. First kill on a Wall Street deal. Was I becoming him? Or him me? The climax brewed at the family estate in Westchester, a McMansion Victor bought with laundered gains. Elena summoned an emergency summit, me as Tyler, plus the clan. I arrived late, rumpled in his Armani, playing the beleaguered air. The dining room gleamed under crystal chandeliers, roast beef aromas clashing with tension thick as fog. Victor at the head, silver fox gone grizzled, eyes like flint. Elena fluttering, pearls clutched. Ty, honey, the cottage, it's a disaster. Cops, cancellations. What happened? I leaned back, crossing Tyler's legs with deliberate slouch. Plumbing backed up. Foundation issues. Maybe sabotage. Gasps rippled. Victor's fist thumped the oak. Sabotage? From who? That bitter ex-con sister of yours. There it was, the slur, casual as cream and coffee. Elena shushed him, but too late. My borrowed pulse thundered. Aunt Sadie? Nah, she's harmless. But hey, Dad, remember that old firm mess? The one where you pinned it on her. The room froze. Victor's face drained to ash. What the fuck are you on about, boy? I pulled Tyler's phone, screen glow illuminating the damning PDF. This. Your emails. Junior's too clever spying. Mom's hush money. Elena whimpered, hand to mouth. Victor lunged, but I was faster. Youth's edge, shoving the table into his gut. Silverware clattered like gunfire. You built this empire on her back, and now you steal her last scrap of peace for some gig economy wet dream? Fuck that. Controversial? Hell yes. Airing dirty laundry and blood ties. Weaponizing a kid's complicity. But justice isn't polite, it's a gut punch. Sirens again, my anonymous tip to the feds, time-stamped with Victor's old case file, refreshed with fresh evidence from Tyler's cloud. Doors burst, badges flashing. Victor Hargrove, you're under arrest for fraud, obstruction. Chaos. Elena screaming, Victor cuffed and snarling. You traitorous little shit. Me? I slipped out the French doors, into the manicured gardens, the swap's pull yanking like a riptide. Back in Bushwick, bodies realigning in a blaze of vertigo, Sadie's frame slumping heavy, Tyler's soul slamming into his loft like a hangover from hell. He pieced it together fast, my IP traces scrubbed, but the psychic's residue lingered, dreams of blue water haunting him. The cottage? Seized as asset forfeiture, Airbnb empire in ashes. Victor's trial exposed the rot. Elena testifying for immunity, Tyler disbarred before licensed. Me? I bought back the cottage at auction, pennies on the dollar, restored it plank by plank. Peace, finally. But the twist? In those final swap moments, I glimpsed Tyler's core, not monster, but mirror. Abandoned by Victor's absences, Elena's neglect, he'd clawed for validation in dollars and deeds. My revenge? It freed him too, stripping the poison. Or did it damn us all, fracturing family irreparably? Readers argue, hero or villain. I fish at dawn, line-cutting mist, and wonder if the Loa laugh last. The afterglow of payback faded quicker than cheap whiskey, leaving a hangover of what-ifs and whispers. It had been 6 months since the swap, since Victor's perp walks splashed across page 6, Wall Street wolf bites dust in Family Feud. The tabloids ate it up. Nephew turns on tycoon dad in epic betrayal. Tyler vanished from the social swirl, ghosting LinkedIn, his Insta frozen on a shirtless yacht flex from better days. Elena? She sold the Westchester pile, moved to a condo in Boca with a yoga instructor half her age, reinvention via downward dog. Me, Sadie, I hunkered down in the cottage, winter's grip turning the lake to glass, my days a rhythm of chopping wood and sketching designs for a life unrented. But revenge, I've learned, is a boomerang with teeth. It circles back, nicking deeper each pass. The first sign was a letter, no stamp, slipped under the door like a serpent's tongue. Cream envelope, Tyler's looping script. Aunt Sadie, we need to talk. The real truth. Midnight, the old boathouse. Come alone. My gut twisted fear, excitement. The Loa's echo. Maybe. That voodoo hum warning of unfinished business. I burned it in the fireplace, ashes swirling like accusations. But sleep evaded, dreams replaying the swap. His hands on my wheel, my voice in his deals. What if Madame Laveau's magic lingered? threads of us tangled eternal. Dawn broke brittle, frost-etching panes. I drove into town, Saranac Lake's main drag, a postcard of Mom and Pop's shuttered by Amazon's shadow. At the library, I commandeered a terminal, fingers numb on keys. Buried searches, Tyler Hargrove. Sparse hits, a DUI in Albany, dropped charges, a psych hold in Ithaca, exhaustion per the blotter. Then, the deep web dive, VPN cloaked, forums buzzing about ghost investors in upstate flips. Tyler's name, pseudonym Lakelord 87, peddling distressed properties. He hadn't quit. He'd pivoted, darker. Listings for off-grid retreats, cabins with no questions asked, cash deals, whispers of discreet accommodations for folks dodging warrants. My nephew, the Airbnb kingpin, turned slumlord for fugitives. Rage flickered anew, but tempered. Wisdom's gift, or paranoia? I tailed a lead. A property showing in Lake George, 40 minutes east. Parked in a diner lot, thermos steaming, I watched him arrive in a beater Ford, not the Mustang. Thinner, hollow-cheeked, his suit hanging like regret. Buyers, rough types, tattoos peeking from cuffs, accents thick jersey. Handshakes sealed with envelopes, no realtor fanfare. He spotted my Jeep? Nah, but his eyes scanned shadows, hunted. Driving home, I mulled the controversial call. Expose him again? Or let karma's slow grind do the work? Family's a web. Snip one strand, the whole collapses. But Tyler's strand? It had poisoned mine first. The boathouse beckoned that night, moon a sickle slicing clouds. The structure sagged on pilings, lake lapping like impatient fingers. I armed up, pepper spray in pocket, Grandpa's old Leatherman clipped belt. Flashlight beam danced over rotted planks, illuminating cobwebs thick as lies. Tyler. My voice echoed, swallowed by wind. Footsteps crunched gravel. Him, silhouette lean, breath fogging air. You came. Knew you would. We faced off, dock creaking under weight. His eyes, my eyes, briefly, held no fire, just embers. The swamp. How? I demanded, stance wide. He laughed, bitter bark. Madame Laveau? She double-dipped. Told me the ritual too, after you bailed. Paid extra for insurance. The hag, playing both ends, Loa's pawn or grifter supreme. Why now? He paced, boots thudding. Because Dad's rotting in Otisville, Mom's chasing bliss in Florida, and I'm this. Gesture sweeping darkness. You didn't just tank the cottage. You nuked my shot at redemption. VCs blackballed me, firms ghosted. That truth you dropped? It branded me Judas. Guilt pricked, unwanted, unwelcome. Redemption? You framed me for your dad's sins, kid. Watch me shatter while you got the trust fund. His flinch confirmed it. He'd been the lookout, 12-year-old eyes wide as Victor shredded docks in the den. I was a pawn, Aunt Sadie. Like you. Lies. Or half-truth. The gray that muddies revenges black and white. He pulled a flask. Offered. Jack Daniels, smooth burn. Truce? One more swap. Fix it all. My laugh died quick. You're cracked. But he pressed. Laveau's got a reversal right. Tonight. We sink. I confess everything. On tape, to the DA. Cottage back full. Dad's appeal quashed. Clean slate. The hooks sank deep. Controversial as hell. Dancing with the devil who'd burned me. Trust a Hargrove? Suicide. Yet. The secret he'd buried deeper than Victor's ledgers. What's the catch? He sighed. Lake's sighing echo. The Loa demand balance. You take my sins, I take yours. Vague. Ominous. Vote is fine print. We trekked to his office, a derelict motel off Route 9, rooms rented by the hour to ghosts. Laveau waited, scarves swirling, altar aglow with candles and rum bottles. Back so soon, Sherry's? Greed's a hungry god. Tyler's story spilled. Post-swap despair, her counsel, turning to consignment, steering him to shadier deals for her cut. The rite commenced, drums pulsing from a Bluetooth speaker, fake authenticity. We clasped hands over a sigil of salt and ash, chanting reversed. Return, change, equilibre. Vertigo hit softer this time, a whisper pull. Visions flashed. Tyler's isolation, Elena's cold shoulder, my prison nights, ink of regret. Then, snap. Bodies righted, but souls? Sticky, smeared. I stumbled out, flask forgotten, dawn greasing the horizon. Tyler's plan unspooled glitchy. The confession tape? He mailed it, all right, to me. Grainy audio. Him detailing the embezzlement, His complicity, Victor's orders. Aunt Sadie was collateral. Family first. DA's office called days later. Anonymized tip, ma'am. Case reopening. Victor's appeals tanked. Sentence doubled. But Tyler? Vanished again. Properties liquidated overnight. Cops raided one. Empty, save a note pinned to drywall. To Sadie, with apologies. The Loa keep score. Winter thawed, uneasy. Elena visited once, hollow-eyed in the cottage's warmth. He's gone, Sadie. Europe, maybe. Said to tell you. He envied your grit. We hugged awkward, fractures mending jagged. She left a check, for the Renos, and drove off, taillights fading into pines. I banked it, hired a contractor. No luxuries, just reinforcements. Solar panels, sure. Sustainable, not soulless. Guests? None. My sanctuary, not a spreadsheet. Yet the tension coiled, shadows lengthening. Dreams bled. Tyler's deals morphing into mine, his voice whispering bids in my sketches. Madame Laveau's number burned a hole in my wallet. Temptation to call, unravel the tangle. Controversial choice loomed. Hunt him, in the echo? Or embrace the hybrid soul, stronger for the scar? The lake mirrored it all, serene surface, currents churning below. Spring bloomed bloody-knuckled. Hikers found a floater in Scroon Lake. Unidentified male, mid-20s, blunt trauma. Description matched Tyler, no ID, but the tattoo, a minimalist wave on his ribs, Elena's gift for his bar exam. Autopsy pending, but whispers. Shady real estate beef. My heart seized. Karma's bite, or my swap's curse. Elena wailed over the phone. What did we do to him, Sadie? We. The pronoun that bound us, unbreakable. I drove to the morgue in Albany, badge of relation forged in grief. The sheet pulled back, his face, slack, blue-lipped. Not horror, peace, almost. Wallet in evidence. Photo of the cottage, my handwriting on back. Yours if you earn it. When? How? Pocketed during the rite, a plant? The twist inverted. Tyler hadn't fled. He'd staged it all. Insurance scam, new identity, Europe bound, debts shed like snakeskin. The apologies note? Misdirect. He'd played me again, using the Loa as cover, my revenge as his launchpad. Rage? Exhaustion. I signed the release. Elena claiming the body for a quiet cremation. Back home, I torched the Leatherman, watched sparks dance like Loa eyes. The cottage stood sentinel, Airbnb ghosts exorcised. Victor wrote from prison. He was always the smartest. Damn right. Summer scorched in, humidity thick as unspoken verdicts. The cottage baked under relentless sun, lake levels dropping to expose sunken relics. Old docks, rusted cans, bones of forgotten summers. My days blurred. Freelance pitches landing steady. A local gallery show for my sketches, Adirondack abstracts, veins of blue and shadow. Folks called it haunting. Fitting. Nights, though, tension strung tight. Every creak of footfall, every ripple Tyler's ghost. Elena's visits ceased after the funeral, ashes scattered in Boca's intracoastal, her emails terse. Healing. Love. Healing. As if grief's a spa treatment. The real haunt. Madame Laveau. Her texts pinged sporadic. The balance tips. Sherry. Call or the Loa call you. Blocked, unblocked, repeat. Addiction's itch. One bourbon-soaked Eve, I dialed. Static crackled. Her voice molasses thick. Sadie. Knew you'd crack. No preamble. Tyler's alive? She chuckled low. Alive as echoes. The swap? It wove you. His ambition in your bones, your steel in his flight. Riddles, always. Fix it. $100 wired, ritual promised. Full moon, neutral ground. Bring salt, regret. Neutral ground. A roadside shrine off the Northway. Virgin Mary statue chipped, offerings wilted. I arrived cloaked in dusk, salt shaker rattling pocket like teeth. Laveau materialized from birches, veils billowing. He reached out, post-death. Wanted severance. My blood iced. Where? She shrugged, lighting incense. Europe's shadows. Amsterdam canals, Berlin basements. Flipping lofts for oligarchs now, cleaner sins. The right was stripped. No chance, just salt circle, our hands linked over a pocket watch. Tyler's, engraved, time heals or kills. TikTok amplified, hearts sinking erratic. Visions assaulted, him in a rainy alley, haggling deeds, me in court, gavel falling. Then, sever. A rip, soul flesh parting with wet tear finality. I woke roadside, stars wheeling. Laveau gone. Watch stopped at 3:17, swap o'clock. Lighter? Unburdened, yet hollow. Ambition's fire dimmed. I nixed the gallery expansion, stuck to locals. Peace. Or amputation. Fall foliage ignited, tourists flocking for leaf peeps. A booking inquiry slipped through. Zombie from Tyler's old site, auto-forwarded. Romantic getaway, 2 nights. I ghosted it, but curiosity clicked. Cinder, VH. Victor? No. Vanessa Hargrove, a ghost from Elena's past. Victor's first wife, presumed OD'd in 95. Buried secret unearthed. Tyler's mom? Elena the step, or affair cover? Digging frantic. Obits, court docs. Truth inverted. Vanessa faked death, fled Victor's abuse, birthed Tyler in hiding. Elena? Complicit, adopting the orphan to launder Victor's image. The embezzlement? Not just greed. Vanessa's blackmail fund, intercepted. I'd taken the fall for a phantom family's sins. Phone to Elena. Vanessa. Alive. Silence, then sob. She reached out last year. Tyler found her. DNA kit. Ancestry surprise. That's why the cottage push. Her cut. Restitution. The empire? Built on layered lies. My suffering the grout. Controversial revelation. Forgive? Or torch the remnants? Elena confessed in a tear-streaked video call. We thought protection. But it broke us all. Protection. The word soured. Tyler's death recast. Not scam, but sacrifice. Vanessa's plan, insurance to fund a real escape. Mother-son reunion in anonymity. My meddling? Catalyst, forcing his hand. A postcard arrived, postmarked Prague. Aunt S. Thanks for the shove. Waves to you. T. No return, but coordinates etched subtle. A cove in Croatia, perhaps. Winter's Eve, snow-muffling world, I hosted Elena. Fire crackled, mulled wine steaming. We unpacked boxes, Grandpa's letters, yellowed photos. He knew, she whispered. About Vanessa. Left the cottage to you as. Apology. Layers peeled. Grandpa's will clause. The productive use? Forged by Victor, but Tyler's lawsuit? Vanessa's insistence. Maternal greed mirroring paternal. The betrayal pyramid. All complicit, me the base. Climax brewed not in violence, but verdict. DA called. Victor's appeal, new evidence. Tyler's tape. Vanessa's affidavit via proxy. Testify. I demurred. Controversial? Hell. Silence as revenge, letting rot consume itself. Victor died in custody, heart attack mid-deposition, secrets dying with him. Elena inherited scraps, donated to victims' funds, mine included. Closure? Or cop-out? Spring 2026, lake thawing. I stood dockside, line cast. A figure approached. Hiker? No, Vanessa. Silver-streaked, eyes Tyler's blue. He sent me. No warmth, just reckoning. The swap rumor? Wild. She handed a deed, cottage addendum, co-ownership. For the blood we share, unwitting. I signed, controversial mercy, family redefined, not erased. Tyler's surface summer, unannounced, lean, sun-kissed, Euro edge. Truce. Over coffee on the deck, stories swapped. His flips gone legit, eco-villages in the Balkans. You gave me spine, Aunt Sadie, and took my blinders. No apologies, just beers clinked. Elena joined later, trio mending awkward. The Airbnb ghost. Buried, but lessons lingered. Revenge cycles, unless broken. Ending? Debatable. Happy, scars faded, cottage communal, sins absolved? Or tragic, trust fractured eternal, Loa whispering doubts? Readers feud. Pyrrhic peace or Pandora reopened. I fish on, hook glinting, knowing life's no tidy arc. Just ripples, endless.